All right. All right. That's really, really loud. Okay, so I'm on Haley's iPad right now. I have no idea how to work this thing. So if I'm kind of all over the place, that's literally why. Different setting, different place. My anxiety just has been crazy because the kids just found, or Matt just told me that the power went out at our house. I'm not sure why, and I'm miles away. So of course, it makes me a nervous freaking wreck. So you'll have to bear with me, you guys. So we're going to actually be talking a lot about potential loyal customers tonight. And I know that that's a huge thing for all of you guys, and you guys all are working on those every single day. That's a huge part of our comp plan. So we're going to be talking about it at every single angle. So you're going to get all the different stuff. Haley and I are both on the same camera. So when it's her turn, she's probably just going to hop on. And then Christina, I actually wanted to see if you were okay going first, hun. Okay. Christina's going to talk about host to post specifically and go over things that work good for her and things that have gotten her consistent loyal customers. So you can go ahead and unmute yourself and we're good to go.
Hey guys. Yeah, it's crappy you lost power. I've been praying because I'm like the wind is, I don't know, it was 60 degrees today, and then all of a sudden, like by the time Jay got home from work, it had dropped 30 degrees. It's in the 30s, and the wind is like, oh man, it's bad. So I feel bad for Matt and the kids. Okay, guys, so host to post. I love doing host to post. I wasn't good at it in the beginning. I didn't really quite get the concept in the beginning. So host to post did take me a little bit to kind of get into the groove of things and catch on to. But it is so good and it works really, really good. I get pretty much all of my loyal customers from doing host to post and following up. Every once in a while, I'll get a loyal customer from sending messages and them responding, but for the most part, I send pretty much a bulk of my messages now for DTs and host to posts. I do throw in loyal customer messages, but not as many just because I get a lot of comments on my host to posts. So I like doing that better. So for host to post, you want to make sure that you're at least getting 10 host to posts up a day, at the minimum. Like the bare minimum, you want to shoot for 10. I always shoot for more, but you at least want to get 10. Like you want to make that your goal. So for me to get 10 host to posts up a day, I need to be sending bare minimum 100 messages out just for host to posts. That's how I figured it out. I'm like, okay, if I send 100 messages out at the least, like at the minimum, I'll get my 10 host to posts a day. I alternate it. Like sometimes I'll do green light messaging, which is just going into your messenger, seeing who's active, and I'll send messages that way for host to post. I get a lot of hits that way. And then I also do where we go to our friends list on Facebook and do the alphabetical. I'll do it that way as well. And you can find all the messages for host to post in the boards app. Chelsea's got it all set up. I do host to post on Facebook, and I also do host to post on Instagram. With Instagram, they always put the oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. It went right out the window. They always put the post up on your story, on their story. So it's a little different than Facebook. And I have a couple of like the DT host to post that Chelsea had us make and that she uses. I use that one. That's a really good one for Instagram. And then I also have a couple with Instagram. It's always like a picture, and then you have the wording on the picture where they put it up on their story. I do it that way. And I have been getting a lot more hits on Instagram with host to post than I used to do in the past. So it's really cool. I like messaging on Instagram for it that way too. And then when I'm writing people down, I used to keep everybody in a notebook and put like, I had like a separate host to post notebook, but I stopped doing that. And I think it was Mandy Richardson that gave the tip of putting it in like my notepad on my phone. Now I just write everybody in my notepad on my phone. So that way there, when I go to the leaders page and I go to put my names in on the post to post, the entry that she has, all I have to do is copy them from my notebook on my phone and then paste them in there. So it's so much easier instead of going down through my notebook and typing out the names one by one by one by one, because it literally used to take me like forever to do that. So now I just literally copy them all and then paste them all. So I do that. And I used to enter all my names too at the very end of the month, and that would take a long time. So if you just kind of go and try to enter them weekly or however you want to do it, it's a little bit easier. It breaks it up a little bit more. Okay, so we did that. And then checking your haps. So you want to save them when you do get somebody to post for you. You're going to go and you're going to save the post and you're going to put it in a collection on Facebook. When you go to save it, it'll pop up and you'll just make a collection like every month. It's like this month is going to be February haps. So you're going to save it to that collection. So that way there, I go and I try to check my haps twice a day. I'll do it in the morning and I'll do it in the evening. I'll try to check them 2 times a day. If not, you at least want to check them once a day because you want to check and make sure, you know, if you got any new comments, you can respond to people. And then everybody who comments on a host a post, obviously you're going to write them down. They're going to be either a potential distributor if it's a distributor post, or they're going to be a potential loyal customer if it's a product post. And so you're going to write them down. And anybody who I message about the product or the business, if they're not ready to order that day, it's okay. You're putting them down. You're going to follow up with them and they're eventually going to sign with you or order with you, but you're going to ask them to post for you. So you're going to turn them into another host to post if they don't sign or order with you that day. And then, so checking them and then bumping your haps. So you at least want to bump your haps at least once a week. Sometimes I'll do it twice a week, depending on, you know, hey, I got to get these orders. I'm going to bump them. So when you bump your haps, you're going to go to your hap that somebody posted for you in your collections. You're going to go to that hap and you're either going to put, if it's a hair, skin and nails, sometimes you can put, hey, 1 spot taken, 3 more spots left, or, with the coffee hap, sometimes I'll just go in there and throw in a coffee emoji. Just any little thing like that. It will bump the hap to the top of their news feed on their Facebook. It's kind of harder. You can't really bump the haps when they do the Instagram stories. So that's a little different, but on Facebook, you always want to bump your haps at least weekly because it'll bump it up. And I always get new comments after I bump the hap. So that's really cool. And a little tip, when they do host for you and you're saving the host to post, you always want to like it and you always want to comment on it, because I feel like if you comment on it right away, for some reason, it just bumps it up in the Facebook algorithm. And I always notice I get it better. Like if there's a hat that I didn't comment on, I'm like, oh, like this hasn't gotten any comments on it. So I always comment on it, like with the hair post, for example, because I do a lot of hair, skin, and nail. Hair, skin, and nails and gummies are my best host to posts for the product. And I always put on the hair, skin, and nails, I always put, I'm currently at a number 8, or I'm going for number 8, or just something like that, something along those lines. And then giveaway posts. So for the giveaway post, that's the one where you put up like, tell me what degrees it is, or tell me what state you're from for a chance to get into my cash giveaway. You at least want to do those like once or twice a week. So that way there you get everybody commenting, and that gives you like a bulk haps. And I think that's pretty much all I got. I feel like I was talking in circles for a minute.
All right, I'm gonna put up right here. I'm crowded.
I know, it's so cool seeing you guys together.
That was really, really good. And I do the same exact thing. I work a lot on the backside for my host to post, just like Christina was saying. I send a lot of messages. I talk to a lot of people every single day, and we do the like posting on Facebook for the actual host to post. And this is what I've been doing too. And I'm going to give you guys like an extra bonus tip. Post something that has nothing to do with the giveaway. If you just post a question, like a yes or no question, a one-word answer question, something that a lot of people are going to respond on. And what I'm saying is like, what's the weather like where you are, right? Or asking a question like, taking like 2 outfits and saying, I'm thinking about placing an order on Amazon, right? Or I'm thinking about placing an order for one of these outfits. Which one do you like the best? Okay. Now, when people comment on a post like that, where you give them a this or that, or a yes or no, or you give them something that they have to physically answer it, right? You can literally send them a message that says something like, hey, thanks for commenting on my post. I am having a cash giveaway this month for $500. Would you mind putting up a simple post on your wall for me, and I'll get you in for free, right? That's another great way, because they're coming to you first. They're interacting with you first. They're building the relationship first, and then you're just pursuing them from there. So that's another really good way of getting host to post up. And that's a lot of what I do these days. I do still write host to post giveaways and stuff like that. One of my favorite ones is like my friend's having a new baby and she's looking for old-fashioned names. Drop your grandmother's name in the comments, and I'll get you into my cash giveaway, right? That's one of my favorites that I do. So I do one. It's going to be really similar to that. And if I'm not going to do one, you guys see some of the posts that I've been leading up to my trip down south. I've been posting and sharing like different outfits, different hair, different nails, because I knew that I was coming down here. So I was branding myself and along the way, and I was getting people to interact with me at the same time. And when they interact, that's what I do. I send them a message for host to post right off the bat. So that's a really, really good tip, posting for it and then messaging the people afterwards. And I do exactly what Christina does on the backside. I send messages. I bump my host to post just like she's saying she does. And I make sure I'm consistently working on 10 every single day. And some nights it's hard because, you know, we have really, really crazy days. Like today, for example, super, super crazy, right? Yesterday, same thing. My flights were delayed 5 times. So it was nuts. And I had to decide on when I was going to work my business, but I had to push through it and I had to make sure that I made it happen no matter what, because I know that my paycheck's not going to show up for me if I don't show up for it. Right. So with that being said, we're going to actually go on to Haley. She's going to talk about messaging, stories, and follow-up, and the things that are working best for her in her business. So go ahead. I'm used to like muting and unmuting.
Okay, so I still do the host post like they do also, but another aspect of things is I just direct message. It's always been something, when I first got started in the business, it was something I was kind of scared of because I felt like I was just going to shy people off. And at first, honestly, I would send out messages that I know is like got under people's skin. So I'm like, hey, do you want to grow your hair out? Hey, do you want to lose weight? Things like that, that weren't really the best way to go about approaching it. So now that I've been in this business for a while and Chelsea has the board set up perfectly, there are messages on there that will help you get those loyal customers and get those potentials that will break down, and it will help you, but it's not going out and directly asking somebody, because honestly it is really rude to ask somebody if they want to lose weight. But if you say, hey, do you know someone that wants to lose weight, 99% of the time they're gonna be like, yeah, me. So I just direct message people when I'm in the middle of my messaging sprees. I always start with the host to post. And if they're like, if I've already sent the host post and they don't want to, then I'll just shoot them with a potential loyal customer message. And it's just doing the same thing like you do for my host post. It's just starting the conversation off and knowing exactly what they want. And they're not coming to you, you're coming to them. And I do the same thing for my stories. I stay and I post my story threads. I post the products that I am using directly. So using the coffee and using the gummies every single day, has literally been my top products I sell because people are seeing me use them. And I don't care what kind of business you're in, no matter what, people are going to want to use what you're using. And if you want to sell something and you cannot stand behind the product, then nobody's going to buy from you, because it's the first thing that someone says is, are you using the products too? What do you think about the products? And when you say, no, I'm not using the products, they're going to be like, well, then why would I buy the products from you? So whatever you're using, put it out there. Talk about it. Talk about the way it makes you feel. If you haven't lost the weight with it, or you haven't had the results that comes with it, let them know that this is what you're doing. I'm on day 10, and this is how I feel. This is what it's doing for me. And just continue to do it. Don't lose out on it because say that today you only got 10 views and yesterday you got 20 views, and you're thinking, okay, maybe not today. Make sure that you stay with it every single day. Post about it, talk about it, put your story threads up. If you don't have time to talk about the actual product, just throw a story thread up, because people are going to continue to watch that. You always want a consistent story running with your everyday life and with the products, with the business, just things like that. So if you're not using them, you need to find you some products. You need to use them. 1, 2, follow-ups are 100% it. 95% of people that get started in this business, they do not start the day you talk to them. You will find people that will be like, yeah, I'm interested. You get them to the price, and they either they don't answer you back, or they tell you no. And what do? If you don't follow up with them consistently and stay talking to them, get their dates that they're wanting to order, or follow up with them on payday and stuff like that, they're not gonna reach out to you. I can 100% tell you that if people reach out and they say, oh, I'll reach out to you on payday, they're not going to reach out to you. It is very, very slim that someone actually reaches out to you when they get paid. And if they do, you better snatch it up and go with it, because it usually never happens. So you want to follow up. And I've always said the same thing. I will follow up with you until you either block me or start with me. And I don't care how many times I have to follow up. I have people that I've talked to from 2 years ago, and I'm still following up with them, and they haven't started. And I'm like, I know one day you're going to get started, because you're interested. You're still watching me, because you know that they're watching your stories. They're watching your posts. They're still interested. They're just not at that point yet where they're ready to get started. So constantly follow up with them. Do not miss an opportunity, because I'm going to speak from experience. I have had people that I've not followed up with, and they've got started with someone else. They've either bought the product from someone else, they started the business with someone else, they have done something with someone else, because I wasn't in their inbox first. So that's one thing that you always want to remember. Be in their inbox first, and don't miss that follow-up. If they say they want to start on this payday and they didn't start, then follow up with them the next Friday or the next Tuesday, or whatever the day they get paid on. Constantly follow up with them and alternate. If you were talking to them about the gummies and 3 messages down and they still haven't responded, hit them up with a host message. Or if you're talking to them about like becoming a distributor and they still haven't responded, hit them up with a product message. You want to alternate it, but you want to keep them coming back for more. So with that being said, it's always going to, sorry, I'm getting choked up. It's always going to be about the follow-up. Honestly, that's the biggest thing. If you do it from host post, do it from messages, do it from stories, you always want to do the follow-up. And then another one is, if you just make a direct post on your wall, everybody knows the product post that you put on your wall about, hey, I need 5 people that want to try my gummies, or coffee, stuff like that. Those are just honestly the best ways for people to reach out to you that are already on your Facebook page. And that's another way that you can get the customers. And consistency, y'all. Consistency is key in every single thing that we've all talked about tonight. Host to post, messaging, stories, anything like that. No matter what you do, no matter what aspect that you think is working best for you, if you do not have consistency with it, it's not going to matter. So you have to make sure you're staying consistent every single day. Like they said, 10 host to post minimum every single day, or you're not going to see the comments on your host to post. If you don't send out those messages every single day, you're not going to see the responses in your inbox. If you do some one day and some the next day, and then you just have to stay consistent with it. And I feel like that's the best thing in any part of this business is consistency.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And when it comes down to it with consistency, it's kind of like that, analogy that I was explaining to you guys the other day about how if you put a pot of water on the stove and you only have it on 2 or 3, and then you spike it up to 9, and then you bring it back down to 2 or 3, and then you spike it up to 9, what's going to happen is you're not going to see that water boil at all. And that's the same way for your business. It's kind of like if you plant seeds only some days, or like, let's just say you plant a ton of seeds one day and then you water it one day, but then you go a couple months without watering it. What happens? It dies, right? That's exactly what's going to happen if you don't stay consistent. It's so important to stay consistent. And eventually where your residual comes in is when you teach it as many people as you possibly can to make money and stay consistent together, right? That's where you're going to start seeing that if you wanted to take a week off or whatever, then you're able to do that because there's so many people who are staying consistent that are working with you every single day. And the work that you've put in the past, couple months, year, whatever, is going to keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, guys, I've been getting literally since I started this trip, I've been getting like at least 4 people each of the days that I started it. And even before I even started it, when I started talking about this trip, I've been getting like 4 or 5 people every single day messaging me, hey, what do you do? And the reason is because I'm staying consistent. I'm talking about what I'm doing every day. I'm sharing my story, my journey along the way through every single avenue that I can. Facebook, Instagram, stories, messaging, host to post, TikTok, reels, all of those things, right? So it's really, really important to do that. And one of the last things that I want to talk to you guys about, because I feel like when a lot of us get started, we all have a very similar mindset, right? And this mindset holds us back from being able to talk to people about big packages. Okay. Raise your hand right now if you've ever been worried to talk to somebody about multiple products. Okay. All right. Me too. I'm going to talk to you tonight. Is that okay? Okay. So here's the thing. When I first started this business, I come from a really, really sad, just crappy money mindset background. I come from a family who was dirt poor. They spent their money like they were rich, and they always, just believed that it was always going to be like that. Right. So because I was raised by parents and family that were like that, and I was surrounded myself with friends who believed the same thing, my mindset continuously thought that. Okay. But I want to tell you guys tonight that not everybody has that same lifestyle. Not everybody has that same mindset. The mindset that you have is something that you have created over time because of the people you've surrounded yourself with, the people you have allowed to teach you different patterns and different habits in your life. And so it's really hard to start letting that go, right? Would you guys admit that? It's really hard to start letting that go. That's been one of the biggest things I've had to work on the last 4 years, is letting go of the thought that, well, if I can't afford these products, then who is going to afford these products, right? But I want you to know that there are people out there who are wanting these products more than they're wanting to go out to Dunkin' Donuts. There are some of these people out here who are wanting these products more than they want to go on a vacation, right? There's some people out there who want these products and need these products in order to change their life so they don't feel like crap every single day. And so you're not doing it for the sake of, oh, I'm going to make money off them, right? When you start switching it around and you start thinking of it from a perspective of, what am I really doing for them if I only give them one product, right? If I only give them just the gummies, what do you guys think that's going to do? Our products are meant to be paired together. They are meant to go hand in hand. Yes, the gummies can make you lose a lot of weight, right? We all know this. Yes, the coffee alone can make you lose a lot of weight. We know this. We've seen so many testimonies. Most of us have testimonies of our own that we've used the products and we love them. We're obsessed with them, right? But the thing is, it's just like going back to what Haley was saying about how when you use the products, you start to fall in love with them and it makes it easier to talk about them, right? But not only that, when it comes down to it, not everybody has the same mindset that we do. So we have to break that glass ceiling of telling ourselves that, well, if I can't afford this and nobody else can, right? And we have to understand that not everybody is in the same situation or has been in that situation, right? We have to understand that not everybody's priorities are the same. So if you're, maybe your priorities are not with a certain product, but other people's priorities are with that product. So it's really important to understand that when you're talking to people, and learning how to upsell is one of the most important things. And one of the things that I struggled with when I first started this business was thinking about whenever, you know, whenever I was thinking about upselling people, I was always nervous of, well, what happens if they just cancel out their order completely? What if they tell me after I send that upsell message that they don't want it at all? And I really need that loyal customer, right? This is where we go inside of our heads and we get a little bit selfish, right? But we have to understand that if we don't mention it, then we're kind of letting them down in the long run because we're not giving them the full potential that they could have, one. And two, what if they do? So what if they don't want to order right then and there? There's hundreds of fish in the sea. And when they come back, I can promise you, they're going to come back wanting the entire package, not just one product. That's going to get them results. And that's going to start that huge cycle of that you getting good feedback and wanting to do it more, and then getting good feedback and wanting to do it more, right? So it always starts with that. It always starts with just making the offer first. And then another thing that I said is, well, what happens if they say no, or what happens if they get upset, or they judge me, or they say they think that I'm out for money? And that's another mindset of ours that we have to get through and we have to push through. And there's so many different books that you can help yourself learn money mindset and why you think like this, and how to fix it, and how to grow from it, and how to become a better version of yourself and think differently. And I know just off the top of my head, there's Rich Dad, was it Rich Dad, Poor Dad? There is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. That's a very, very good one. And then there's tons of YouTube videos. You can literally go onto Google or YouTube or whatever, type in inspirational videos on money mindset. You will learn hundreds of different things about that whole, category, that you can learn how to grow your mindset so that you don't have to worry about not offering people what they really want and what they really deserve, right? So one of the things that I want to share with you guys today is the follow-up board, because I know a couple of you guys were really confused last week when I was telling you, make sure you use the upsell. So I want to share this with you guys, because I think it's really important for all of us to know. So we actually have a team board, and I'm going to show it to you because I'm actually on the iPad, so I can do that, right? So if you go into your boards app, I'm on the boards app right now. Whoops. I'm on the boards app right now, okay? If I go into the boards app and I click on this little fire emoji, do you guys see the fire emoji? If you click on the fire emoji, you can literally click on upsell messages. And this is what you're going to do. Whenever you talk to someone about a product, anything, literally the gummies, the cleanse, the coffee, I don't care if you're talking to them about an entire pack. Even if you're talking to them about all three of those, at the end, when you get their info, like you're going to place the order, you get their info. Once you get their info, that's when you're going to go ahead and send one of these upsell messages. And these are specifically made for you. This is so that you can understand, how do I upsell? Okay, if I'm talking to somebody about the hair, skin, nails, I'm going to go right to the one that says hair, skin, nails, upsell. Okay. If I'm talking to somebody about, let's just say, the skinny wraps, I'm going to go and click upsell message with the skinny wraps. This not only is going to get multiple products in their hand, that's going to get them quicker and better results, but it's also going to give you, like I said, it's going to start that whole cycle of, oh my gosh, they're getting multiple products. So that makes you feel good in the first place. And then when they give you that feedback from getting those multiple products, because they get good results because they chose to do that, that's when, you're going to feel good about it, and it's going to boost your confidence, and that's going to boost your business. And that is literally how you get yourself started in that big cycle. So that's the upsell board. And I use this legit every single time. I was talking to someone literally the other day about the gummies, the cleanse, and the TFX all in one. And I still sent her the upsell number one and upsold her again. And the order was like over 150 BB, just because I just told her about all the products. And the thing is, the products that they get in their hand, like I don't know if you guys ever been through this before, but there are certain products that we have that I don't personally use every single day because I don't like them, right? Especially ones with caffeine. I have super bad anxiety. I cannot do caffeine. So like things like the TFX, I can't do the TFX. And so like, yes, I do talk to people about the TFX, but when it comes down to it, not everybody's going to love our products. Not everybody's going to love certain products, right? But just because they don't love one doesn't mean they're not going to love others. So when you get them that bigger package, you're more likely to keep them because chances of them liking one of the several products you got them is higher, right? Because like I said, I could get a package with the TFX, the coffee and the greens, and I don't like the TFX, but I do love the coffee and the greens. Chances are they're going to be the same exact way, right? And then also when you get someone, and I wanted to touch base on this, I don't know why this is on my heart tonight, but when you get someone who's in your inbox who says that they don't like a product, let's just say you can't upsell them, they don't want extra product, they don't want bigger packages. They come back and they say, I don't like the product, right? How many of you guys have ever had someone say that? I have. I know I have. Yep, Christina has too. Okay. So when it comes down to it, letting them understand and relating to them and saying, it's okay, I don't like all of our products either, but let's find you something that you will like, right? When you relate to them like that, you're literally climbing into that like gully with them, right? And saying, well, let's not give it all, like, let's not say that we don't like all the products just because we don't like one. We have over 50 products, right? Guys, we have over 50 products from like a broad variety. We have hair vitamins and weight loss and energy boosters and detox drinks and literally you name it, we have it. So if they're not going to like one of them, well, they're probably, chances are there's going to be at least one of 50, right? If someone doesn't like one of 50 of them, they're pretty picky. And I don't think I've ever met anybody who doesn't like at least one of them. So that's why it's important to upsell. And whenever you get those people who say, I don't like this product, or I don't like that product, or I don't like that, just mention that to them. Be authentic. Send a voice message and say, I understand because I don't love all of our products too, but I do love a couple of them. And so that's what I talk about the most. And when you're talking on Facebook, and you're using the products just like Haley was talking about, make sure that you use and you talk about the ones that you love the most. And that's what I do the most. So I think that's all I got. Did you want to add anything? Christina, did you want to add anything to that? Okay. So I hope that helped you guys. Making sure that you're doing all those things consistently is what gets you the loyal customers. It's host to post, it's messaging, it's following up, and it's using that upsell at the end of it. And that's going to get you your biggest BV. Also starting from, and this just came across my head too, also starting from the top and working your way down. So when you're talking to people, instead of going from just one product and upselling from there, start talking about the packs. Start talking about what our packs have to offer. And this week, actually, I was talking about working on creating a board specifically for the packs. And that way you have that and you have the prices and you have everything all in order. So just show of hands, how many of you guys would like it if we made a board like that for the packs specifically, or for even not just the 14 easy packs, but like different packs that you can get. Like if we wanted to start out with talking about the TFX, the gummies and the cleanse, or things like that. So we're going to work on that. And that just made it very, very clear to me that I need to do that. So I appreciate you guys so much. And I appreciate you guys hopping on tonight. I know everybody's super busy, just like we are. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great night and stay safe.